everyone, and welcome back to another episode. I'm Emma, and I'm so excited to be here with you today.
Hey everyone, I'm Paul. It's wonderful to see all of you again. Emma, how are you doing today?
Hi, Paul. I'm doing really well, thank you. I'm in a good mood today. The weather's nice outside.
Yeah, it's beautiful today. Perfect weather. So, are you ready for today's topic?
I am. I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be super useful for our viewers.
Me too. So, what are we talking about today?
Today, we're going to talk about how to talk about yourself in English. This is so important for English learners.
Oh, that's a great topic. Everyone needs to know how to introduce themselves and talk about who they are.
Exactly. Whether you're meeting new people, going to a job interview, or just making friends, you need to be able to talk about yourself.
Absolutely. So, Emma, let's start with the basics. When you meet someone new, what's the first thing you usually say?
Well, the first thing is usually just a greeting, like hi or hello, and then I introduce myself.
Right, so you might say, "Hi, I'm Emma," or "Hello, my name is Emma."
Exactly. Those are both very common ways to introduce yourself. What do you usually say, Paul?
I usually say, "Hey, I'm Paul." Or if it's more formal, I say, "Hello, my name is Paul." It depends on the situation.
That's a good point. The situation matters. If you're at a party with friends, you can be casual. But if you're at a job interview, you should be more formal.
Right, in casual situations, "Hey, I'm Paul" is perfect. But in formal situations, "Hello, my name is Paul. It's nice to meet you" is better.
Yes, it's nice to meet you is a very polite phrase. You can also say, it's a pleasure to meet you if you want to sound extra polite.
Good examples. So after you introduce your name, what do you usually talk about next?
It depends. Sometimes people ask, where are you from? That's a really common question.
Oh, yes, that's one of the most common questions when meeting someone new. How do you answer that, Emma?
I usually say, I'm from California, or I'm from the United States. What about you?
I say, "I'm from New York," or sometimes I'm more specific and say, "I'm from Brooklyn, New York."
Brooklyn, that's cool. So you can be general, like I'm from the United States, or more specific, like I'm from Brooklyn.
Exactly. It depends on who you're talking to. If they're from another country, you might just say, "I'm from the United States," but if they're American, you'd probably say the city or state.
That makes sense. What other questions do people usually ask when they first meet you?
Well, people often ask, "What do you do?" That means, "What's your job?" or "What do you do for work?"
Right. That's such a common question, especially in the United States. Americans love to ask about jobs.
That's true. Work is a big part of American culture. So, Emma, what do you do?
I'm an English teacher. I teach English to people who are learning it as a second language. What about you, Paul?
I'm a graphic designer. I create designs for websites, logos, things like that.
Cool. So when you answer, what do, you just say your job title. I'm a teacher, I'm a doctor, I'm a student, and so on.
Right, and if people want more details, they'll ask follow-up questions, like, "Where do you teach?" or "What kind of design do you do?"
Exactly. You don't need to give your whole life story at first. Just answer the question simply, and then they can ask for more details if they're interested.
Good point. So we've covered name, where you're from, and your job. What else is common to talk about?
Well, hobbies and interests. People often ask, what do you do for fun? Or what are your hobbies?
Oh yes, that's a great way to get to know someone. What are your hobbies, Emma?
I love reading books. I also enjoy hiking and trying new restaurants. What about you?
I like playing basketball, watching movies, and I recently started learning to cook. I'm not very good yet, though.
Hey, everyone starts somewhere. The important thing is you're trying. So when you talk about hobbies, you can use phrases like I like, or I enjoy, or I love.
Right, you can say, "I like playing basketball," or "I enjoy reading." These are simple and natural ways to express it.
Yes, and you can also say I'm interested in or I'm into, like I'm into photography or I'm interested in history.
Good examples. What about family? Do people usually talk about family when introducing themselves?
Sometimes it depends on the situation. In casual conversations, people might mention their family, like I have two sisters or I live with my parents.
Right. Family can be a good topic, but it's usually not the first thing you mention. It comes up more naturally in longer conversations.
Exactly. So, Paul, let's talk about some common mistakes people make when talking about themselves. What do you think is a common mistake?
I think one mistake is giving too much information too quickly, like telling your whole life story in the first 2 minutes.
Yes, that can be overwhelming. You want to give people information gradually, not all at once.
Right. Start with the basics: name, where you're from, and what you do. Then add more details as the conversation continues.
Exactly. Another mistake I see is being too shy or too modest. Some people say, I'm not interesting, or there's nothing special about me.
Oh, that's a good point. Everyone has something interesting about them. You should be confident when talking about yourself.
Yes, even if you think your life is ordinary, other people might find it interesting. Don't put yourself down.
Absolutely. What about grammar mistakes? Are there common grammar errors people make?
Oh, yes. One common mistake is mixing up I'm from and I come from. Both are correct, but I'm from is more common in everyday conversation.
Right. You can either say, I'm from New York or I come from New York, but I'm from is more natural in everyday conversation.
Exactly. Another mistake is with present simple versus present continuous. People sometimes say, I am working as a teacher, when they should say, I work as a teacher.
That's a good catch. When talking about your regular job, use present simple. I work as a teacher. Present continuous is for temporary jobs.
Exactly. If you say, I'm working as a teacher, it sounds like it's a temporary job, not your permanent career.
Good explanation. Emma, what about talking about personality? How do you describe yourself?
Oh, that's a good question. Talking about your personality can be tricky. You don't want to sound arrogant, but you also want to be honest.
Right, so how do you do it?
Well, you can use adjectives like I'm friendly, or I'm outgoing, or I'm a bit shy. What about you, Paul? How would you describe yourself?
I'd say I'm pretty easygoing, and I like to make people laugh. I'm also a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to my work.
Those are good descriptions. Notice Paul didn't say, I'm the funniest person ever, or I'm perfect. He was honest, but not arrogant.
Yeah, you want to be confident but humble. It's a balance.
Exactly. You can also mention what other people say about you, like, my friends say I'm a good listener, or people tell me I'm creative.
Oh, that's a smart way to do it. It sounds less like you're bragging if you say people tell me instead of just I am.
Right, it's a softer way to talk about your positive qualities. What about weaknesses? Should you mention negative things about yourself?
That's a good question. In casual conversations, you usually don't need to mention weaknesses, but in a job interview, you might be asked about them.
True, and if you are, you should mention a real weakness, but also explain how you're working to improve it.
Can you give an example?
Sure, you could say, I sometimes have trouble with public speaking, but I've been taking a course to improve my presentation skills.
That's perfect. You acknowledge the weakness, but also show you're actively working on it. That's what employers want to hear.
Exactly. It shows self-awareness and a desire to improve. Okay, Paul, let's talk about tone and body language. That's important too, right?
Oh, yes, very important. When you talk about yourself, you should sound confident and friendly, not nervous or bored.
Right. Your tone of voice matters. If you sound bored when talking about yourself, other people will be bored too.
That's true. And body language is important. Make eye contact, smile, and have open body language.
Yes, don't cross your arms or look down at the ground. Stand up straight and look at the person you're talking to.
Exactly. Those nonverbal cues tell people you're confident and engaged in the conversation.
Absolutely. So, Paul, let's give our viewers some example sentences they can use to talk about themselves. Should we start with introductions?
Good idea. So for introductions, you can say, "Hi, I'm Paul. Nice to meet you."
Or, hello, my name is Emma. I'm pleased to meet you.
For talking about where you're from, you say, "I'm from New York," or "I'm originally from California, but I live in Texas now."
Good. For jobs, I'm a teacher, or I work as a nurse, or I'm studying to be an engineer.
For hobbies, in my free time, I like to read, or I enjoy playing sports, or I love watching movies.
For personality,
I'm a friendly person, or I'm quite creative, or I'd say I'm hardworking and reliable.
These are all great examples. Emma, what about talking about your background or education?
Oh, good point. You can say, I studied English at UCLA, or I have a degree in business, or I went to school in Chicago.
Right. Education is often part of talking about yourself, especially in professional settings.
And you can mention skills too, like I speak 3 languages, or I'm good with computers, or I have experience in sales.
Yes, skills are important to mention, especially if you're networking or in a job interview.
Absolutely. You know, Paul, I think one thing that makes talking about yourself easier is preparation. What do you think?
I completely agree. If you prepare what you want to say ahead of time, you'll feel more confident.
Right. You can practice a short introduction about yourself, like a 30-second or 1-minute version of who you are.
That's sometimes called an elevator pitch, a short introduction you could give in the time of an elevator ride.
Yes, that's a great way to think about it. You should have a brief version ready for when people ask about you.
And you can adjust it depending on the situation. Your introduction at a party might be different from your introduction at a business meeting.
Exactly. At a party, you might focus more on hobbies and interests. At a business meeting, you'd focus more on your professional background.
Good distinction. Emma, what advice would you give to someone who feels shy or uncomfortable talking about themselves?
That's a great question. I think my advice would be to practice, practice, practice. The more you do it, the easier it becomes.
Absolutely. You can practice in front of a mirror or record yourself on your phone and listen back.
Yes, and remember, most people are actually interested in learning about you. They're not judging you harshly.
That's a really important point. People are usually friendly and want to get to know you. Don't be afraid to share about yourself.
Right, and if you make a mistake, it's okay. Everyone makes mistakes, especially when speaking a foreign language.
That's exactly. Native English speakers make mistakes too. The important thing is to communicate your message.
Well said. Okay, Paul, should we do a quick practice together, like a role play?
Sure, that's a great idea. Let's pretend we just met at a party. I'll start. Hi, I'm Paul. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Paul. I'm Emma. It's nice to meet you too. Are you enjoying the party?
Yeah, it's great. So, Emma, what do you do?
I'm an English teacher. I teach English to international students. What about you?
Oh, cool. I'm a graphic designer. I work for a tech company downtown.
That sounds interesting. So you design things for computers and websites.
Exactly. I create visual designs for apps and websites. It's really fun. What do you like to do in your free time?
I love reading and hiking. I try to go hiking at least once a month. Do you have any hobbies?
Yeah, I play basketball on weekends with some friends, and I'm learning to cook, which has been an adventure.
Cooking can be tricky at first. Okay, that was great. See, everyone, that's a natural conversation.
Exactly. We talked about our jobs, our hobbies, and we kept it friendly and casual. That's how real conversations go.
Right. Notice we didn't give our whole life stories. We just shared a few key things and the conversation flowed naturally.
And we asked each other questions. That's important too. Conversation is two ways. You talk about yourself, but you also show interest in the other person.
Yes, don't just talk about yourself nonstop. Ask the other person questions too. That's what makes a good conversation.
Absolutely. Okay, Emma, let's start wrapping up. What are the key takeaways for our viewers?
Great question. First takeaway, start simple. Begin with your name, where you're from, and what you do. Then add more details as the conversation continues.
Second, be confident but humble. Don't brag, but don't put yourself down either. Find that balance.
Third, prepare a short introduction about yourself ahead of time. Practice it so you feel comfortable saying it.
Fourth, pay attention to your tone and body language. Sound enthusiastic and maintain good eye contact.
Fifth, remember that conversation is two-way. Don't just talk about yourself. Ask questions and show interest in others too.
And finally, practice, practice, practice. The more you talk about yourself in English, the easier it becomes.
Perfect summary. You know, Paul, I think talking about yourself is a skill that everyone can develop.
I totally agree. Even shy people can learn to introduce themselves confidently with practice.
Right. It's not about being the most outgoing person. It's about being able to communicate who you are clearly and comfortably.
Well said, Emma. All right, everyone, remember that you are interesting. You have unique experiences and qualities that make you special.
Yes, don't be afraid to share yourself with others. People want to get to know the real you.
Exactly. Be authentic. Don't try to be someone you're not. Just be yourself.
Perfect advice. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for joining us today to talk about how to talk about yourself in English.
Yes, thank you all for watching. We hope this conversation helps you feel more confident introducing yourself and sharing about who you are.
Remember to practice. Talk about yourself out loud, even if you're alone. Practice in front of the mirror or record yourself on your phone.
And don't worry about making mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes, and that's okay. The important thing is to keep trying and keep learning.
Absolutely. We're all learning and growing, and that includes native English speakers like Paul and me.
That's true. We're always learning too. So everyone, go out there and introduce yourselves with confidence.
Yes, you've got this. Believe in yourself and don't be shy about sharing who you are.
Well said, Emma. All right, everyone, we'll see you in the next episode.
Until then, keep practicing your English and keep being your awesome selves. Take care.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.